Welcome, world basketball fans, to the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague title game from Barcelona, Spain. Where a season's worth of great basketball comes down to one final showdown today. Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv versus Panathinaikos Athens for the right to be called a continental champion. It has been a weekend-long basketball celebration here at the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four in beautiful Barcelona, starting with the semifinals on Friday, won by Panathinaikos, which defeated Montepaschi Siena 77-69, and by Maccabi, which rolled past Real Madrid 82-63. Tonight, one of those teams will win its sixth European trophy. Maccabi's championship tradition stretches back to 1977, when it conquered the continent for the first time, and includes the only back-to-back titles in the last 20 years in 2004 and 2005. Panathinaikos, meanwhile, is the most successful team of the Final Four era in Europe, which started in 1988, with all 5 of its titles falling between 1996 and 2009. I'm Frank Lawler, your play-by-play announcer for today's final, and while we watch players arriving earlier to Palau Sant Jordi, let me welcome our game analyst, Johnny Rogers, who won 2 of his titles with Panathinaikos. Johnny, this is the moment these players and coaches wait all season and sometimes their entire careers to be part of. What role can we expect emotions to play in this final?
This is an incredible experience for these players, Frank. Besides the effort that they have been putting in and daily and 2-day practices since last September, working on their game together, you have only to look around this arena where their fans have already been making noise for a couple of hours to know that this is what European basketball is all about. The atmosphere here is unparalleled, and it's a big ingredient in what makes the EuroLeague unlike any other basketball competition. These guys draw so much energy from that. I know it, I've felt it, and it makes for something unique, I believe, in the world of sports.
And there you see that crowd, Panathinaikos green on the right, Maccabi yellow on the left. Maccabi versus Panathinaikos, the yellows versus the greens. And while we wait for tip-off of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague title game, along with 15,788 fans, a sold-out Palau Sant Jordi in Barcelona, we are going to have a look at our pre-game analysis of today's finalists.
The Turkish Airlines EuroLeague trophy stands today between Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv and Panathinaikos Athens as one of the world's greatest basketball rivalries takes center stage in beautiful Barcelona, Spain. In this rivalry, the fans and coaches put almost as much energy into the game as their stars do. Both teams used second-half surges to win semifinal showdowns on Friday with true team efforts that didn't rely on all their stars. Panathinaikos, in fact, found a potent new threat as young Nick Galathis scored a career-high 17 points against Siena in his Final Four debut. He and Dimitris Diamandidis, who dished out 9 assists on Friday and was named the season's MVP on Saturday, will form a tag team against Maccabi floor leader Jeremy Pargo, whose amazing dunk lit the fuse in Maccabi's blowout victory over Real Madrid. Maccabi has its own new backcourt threat as Guy Pnini has averaged 18 points in 2 games, replacing injured Doran Perkins. Maccabi's Chuck Aitson, who set a semifinals record with 6 steals while blasting away for 19 points, will require special attention from Panathinaikos forwards Romain Sato and Stratos Perperoglou. Sharpshooters Andonis Fotsis and David Blue won't be hesitant to pull the trigger. And in the paint, it's a battle of heavyweights, as Sophocles Georgianitis and Mike Batiste are both ready after scoring 16 points each in the semis. 6 players and both coaches from these teams have met in previous Final Fours, so once again, it's the yellows versus the greens for the right to be called Kings of the Continent.
The final is final, you know, everybody like to play final. We are happy that we have possibility to play one more time. I hope that will be very good atmosphere in the gym, and that everybody who like basketball, they will enjoy it tonight.
The pressure game is the semi-final, but the most difficult game is the final, because you've come to the end of the road. generally speaking, and without question, almost to a fault, the two best teams have arrived at this juncture. So you know you're going to have a great opponent and a very, very challenging match.
We are back in Palau Sant Jordi in Barcelona, Spain, and you have a look at the Panathinaikos lineup on your screen, and you can surely hear their fans roaring already in the background for tonight's Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final against Maccabi Electra. Both teams are healthy as far as we know, disregarding the mid-season injury to Duran Perkins, one of the top players on Maccabi, but they've recovered from that to make it to the final. And we will have a look very soon at the starting lineups while we get the introductions to these teams. And Johnny, what do you see as one of the keys from the Panathinaikos point of view, since we were watching them come on the floor?
Well, everybody talks about Maccabi's offense, but the truth is they play great defense. They have great defensive schemes, and so Panathinaikos is going to have to limit their turnovers. They're going to have to get in their game, the pick-and-roll game, do what they have to do, but be careful with the ball.
There you see Romain Sato and the rest of his teammates of Panathinaikos. They defeated Montebaski Siene by 77-69 the other night with a surprise top scorer in Nick Kalathis. He started that game. We'll see if he starts this game too soon. He was followed by Mike Batiste with 16 points, Antonis Fotis with 14, and let's not forget 9 assists from Dimitris Diamantidis, who was the MVP last night at the EuroLeague FS Pilsen award ceremony. We will get a chance right now to look at who are the starters for Panathinaikos Athens in the final.
Jeremy Pargo, number 4, United States.
Guy Pnini, number 10, Israel.
Chuck Edson, number 13, United States.
Lior Eliyahu, number 8, Israel.
Sophocles Kortsianitis, number 21, Greece.
And there we saw the starters from Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, coached by David Blatt. They were Jeremy Pargo at point guard, Guy Panini at the shooting guard, Chuck Edson at small forward, Lior Eliyahu at the power forward, and Sophocles Kortsianitis is the center for Maccabi Electra. And that is no change from their starting lineup in the semifinal. We should say they defeated Real Madrid in that semifinal 82-63 with a fantastic team effort. Chuck Edson was the star with 19 points, 8 rebounds, 6 steals. He was followed by Sophocles Kortsianitis with 16 points, Guy Panini with 14, Jeremy Pargo with 13, and David Blue, who you just saw there, off the bench with 10 points. Johnny, they got a lot of weapons.
They sure do, and look at the emotion that's coming out. These guys are pumped, ready to play this final. So much excitement in the air. The crowd's behind them. But I'll tell you, I'm happy that both these two teams are here because we're looking at perhaps the two best teams in Europe at this time. Panathinaikos, Maccabi, two clubs with a lot of tradition, and we're going to see a good game. Maccabi likes to push the tempo. I think they're going to want to try to push the tempo. They use their defense to create transition opportunities. And also, they have the big man, big Sofo, Kortsianitis, inside. That let's see if they try to go to inside to him. He's such a force inside. It'll take a lot of guys to stop him. Panathinaikos knows him very well. They've known him from the national team, and also they played against him several years when he was in Greece.
We are here at Palau.
Dimitris Diamantidis, number 13, Greece.
Nick Kalathis, number 15, Greece.
Romain Sato, number 10, Central African Republic.
Antonis Fotis, number 9, Greece.
Ian Voukas, number 14, Greece.
And there you saw the starting lineup for Panathinaikos tonight with Dimitris Diamantidis at point guard, Nikos Kalathis at the shooting guard, Antonis Fotis at power forward, Ian Voukas at the center spot, and Romain Sato at small forward. We're having a look at the winningest coach in the history of Europe, who's Željko Obradović, 51 years old, 7 EuroLeague titles with 4 different teams, and the last 4 coming since the year 2000 with Panathinaikos. We will talk to Jordi Bertomeu, the EuroLeague Basketball president and CEO, before the game.
Jordi, it has been a great season in Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. What are your impressions of the final tournament so far?
I think that it's becoming once again a big event, a big party of the European basketball. Today's final is a proof that the fans are really enjoying this game and this final, and we are satisfied, and I hope we will enjoy a great game as a final game.
We have 2 powerhouses of European basketball meeting today. What is your impression about the environment that is here in the arena?
Well, it's just amazing. I think it's what's made the European basketball different from the rest of the world. So we have these fans that have passion for basketball. And this is the most beautiful thing that we have for European basketball. I love these guys, I love these teams, and also other teams that also have these passionate fans.
There's been an important piece of information released today. Where would we be next May?
Well, we are proud to announce that the next Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final 2012 will be in Istanbul. It's an amazing city with a long basketball tradition and with nice arena, and I think that we will enjoy another big event there.
Thank you very much.
There we heard from EuroLeague Basketball President and CEO Jordi Bertomeu at courtside. Barely heard for the fans and of both of these teams. You see the yellow on the left, Maccabi, and the green on the right. There is no atmosphere in basketball anywhere on earth quite like at a EuroLeague final, and these are 2 of the best groups of fans that you can find in the world. Great fan bases. They travel with their teams, and they make a whole lot of noise, as you know, John.
Yes, they have experience at these Final Fours too. We've seen them here several times. They support their teams. If there's one thing about European basketball, you have to mention there's great fan support. These are the 2 best teams in Europe, but you have to say their fans are also among the 2 best fan groups in Europe.
If these teams need any more inspiration, all they have to do is glance off court for a split second. Although they're hearing it the entire game, it's amazing. You'll hear these guys chanting with their own player on the free throw line. Nothing stops them. They're part of the game, no doubt about it, and you'll see it all during this final. We are waiting for the start of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final to determine a champion between Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv and Panathinaikos Athens. They have a complete history between them. Both have 5 titles in European history. So one of them will get their 6th tonight. There's guys on both teams who are multiple EuroLeague winners. On Maccabi, Derek Sharp, Tal Burstein, and David Blue and Yannick Green have all won before. And on Panathinaikos, 2-time winners like Antonis Fotis, Mike Batiste, Dimitris Diamantidis. We're now getting a look at the referees for tonight's game. Juan Carlos Migiana of Spain, Luigi Lamonica of Italy, and Robert Lodermoser of Germany. They will be calling the shots on the floor tonight. But as I was saying, a ton of history between these 2 teams. Also on Panathinaikos, 2-time EuroLeague winners, Mike Batiste, Kostas Tsatsaris, Dimitris Diamantidis, and Antonis Fotis. So everybody on this floor has somebody to turn to who's known how to win this final before, John.
Well, one thing also, Frank, that I think is very remarkable are these teams, especially in Panathinaikos' situation. They have the same president, the same coaches, the same trainers, the same equipment managers. It's really become a family. You don't usually see that kind of continuity in European basketball. We can talk the same thing about Maccabi. We see some ex-players that are now team managers. David Blatt's been there a long time. And so they create such a unique family atmosphere that you don't usually see in basketball. But I think it's helped them lead to the success that they've enjoyed.
We should mention David Blatt. We talked about Zeljko Obradović's titles, 7 of them, more than any other European coach in history, 3 more than any other. David Blatt has done a lot of things short of winning the EuroLeague as a head coach. He won it twice as an assistant coach, went to another Final Four as Maccabi's head coach, and in between then and now won a national title with Italy and a European national championships with the Russian national team. David Blatt also know what to do. John, very quickly, there's some matchups I know you'll be looking at before tip-off. Tell us what you have as your main points to watch.
Well, we have a lot of fun players to watch tonight. One is Jeremy Pargo. Don't let him get to the open floor. It's going to be job one for the Panathinaikos defenders to try to slow him down. We've seen some spectacular plays by him throughout the season, making highlight reel dunks. But lately, since the top 16, he's been shooting very well from three-point distance. So that's going to be a big assignment for the Panathinaikos defenders. They're also going to have to try to match up with Schwarzenegger's inside. On the other hand, we have another two players that I'd like to highlight. I'm sure we're going to talk about during the game. We've got Chuck Edson and Dimitris Diamantidis, 2 very unique players that I think amplify what European team basketball is all about. 2 guys that are very unselfish, 2 guys that play defense, play for the team. So it's going to be a pleasure to watch these players and watch these teams go at it tonight.
The atmosphere in Barcelona at Palau Sant Jordi is second to none for any basketball game you can witness. Fans are on their feet and have been for a while. They have their chants, they have their cheers. We are getting ready for the tip-off of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final, and it should be a great show. We have plenty of league leaders and some award winners from last night. Diamantidis, who you mentioned, being the MVP of the EuroLeague. His teammate Mike Batiste also on the All-EuroLeague first team, and that man right there, Sophocles Skortsanidis, on it for Maccabi. His teammate Jeremy Pargo made the second team, and of course the other night each team had other stars. Nick Kalathis in the semifinal for Panathinaikos and Chuck Edson for Maccabi. This should be a great game. 2 very deep teams, 2 great traditions, 2 incredible crowds getting ready to see which of these teams will become the 2010-2011 EuroLeague, Turkish Airlines EuroLeague champion. We are ready for tip-off in Barcelona. 40 minutes to a title, and there we go. Pargo tries to save that opening tip as it went out of bounds, but the ball will go to Panathinaikos to get started. Some nice hustle by Jeremy Pargo. Ended up in the camera area to get it going. Nick Kalathis on the ball for Panathinaikos. Off to Dimitris Diamantidis. Gets his screen. Looks inside for Vujukas. Misses the shot. Ball still loose. Rebound is still loose. And it's going to be given to Maccabi Electra. They'll have a chance to get on the scoreboard first, but John, they went right inside for the first offense. Panathinaikos.
That's their bread and butter. They run the pick and roll, and it's usually to try to go inside. Then they also spread the floor and space it with some excellent three-point shooters later in the game. We'll see those shots.
Pargo to Edson on the wing, and Daliahu looking for Schwarzenegger. Pass is loose. Nick Kalathis comes up with it. Diamantidis trying to finish, and he does to get Panathinaikos on the board.
Well, thanks to their defense, they came up with a loose ball. We had 3 players out running the break. Diamantidis finished it well with his right hand.
Jeremy Pargo out top for Maccabi. Cross to Edson. They're looking inside for Skortsanidis, but Panathinaikos is packing it in. Skortsanidis comes out. The switch, Edson up top. Daliahu's stolen from behind by Fultz. Edson got it back, but his three-pointer was rushed and missed. And Diamantidis comes the other way. Pick and roll at the top. Diamantidis gets it to Vujukas. He gets it down.
Beautiful
Panathinaikos
pass.
up 0-4.
Beautiful pass by Diamantidis. We see again pick and roll. They're attacking Schwarzenegger. He's having trouble covering that.
Pargo with the ball for Maccabi. Edson inside the big sofa, immediately double, triple team. Goes in the corner to Guy Panini. Guy Panini hits it. Three-pointer for Maccabi.
This guy does not stop. This is incredible. Panini, we've seen him pick up the slack in the playoffs he shoots so well in high-pressure games. We saw it last in the semifinals. Made his first three-point shots.
Panathinaikos trying to answer back. Diamantidis loses the handle. Sofo comes up with it. A hand to Pargo. Makes his move. Slap from behind. The ball out of bounds. And it will stay with Maccabi. But as you said, Guy Panini, it seems like he hasn't missed since he replaced Doran Perkins in the starting lineup in the fourth and final game of the playoffs. Came to the semifinals, scored 14 points, 3 shots from downtown. He starts tonight. There's Sofo inside on the inbound play, blocked by Fotzis. Eliyahu blocked by Vuyukas. And here comes Kalathis the other way to Diamantidis. Sato on the three-point line. He misses. And Chuck Edson rebounds and is fouled by Antonis Fotzis.
I think, Frank, that was a tactical foul to stop their fast break. Surprising to see Panathinaikos pushing the tempo here, trying to get some easy baskets in transition. This is what we normally see from Maccabi.
Look at the block by Fotzis coming from behind.
You have to do that with Shortsinidis. You need help. You cannot guard him one-on-one inside. You have to get help from the weak side.
Edson to Eliyahu. Looking for Sofo. Back to Edson. Taking it alone into the lane. Spins. Goes off the board. Misses everything. And Fotzis corrals the rebound.
Let's see if they go back to another pick and roll situation. Every offensive possession, we've seen pick and rolls between the 1 and the 5. And Vujakas gets the ball underneath. Great pass from Diamantidis.
They're going to all their options, John. Diamantidis that time didn't use the pick and roll, but waited and found Vujakas open. Edson for Maccabi gets fouled by Vujakas.
You see him stepping out of the pick and roll. He's hedging. Just a little bit too late. Smart on the offensive player to pick up that foul. We see Edson.
And Vujakas with 4 quick points. He was only a starter in 6 games this season before this weekend, or 5 before this weekend. Started in the semifinal, but obviously has the offensive skills to be on the floor for the final.
And he had a great game. He was important in their win also.
Pargo from deep, off the front of the rim. Rebound goes to Sato. Diamantidis is pushing the ball, gets in the lane. That's stolen by Pargo. He's come running the other way, trying to finish. He gets called for double dribbling. That's a turnover for Jeremy Pargo.
We see David Blues checked in the game. They made an early substitution. Maccabi. Blues replaced Eliyahu. Excellent three-point shooter.
David Blue on the floor for Maccabi. Diamantidis out top, gets the screen, gets into the lane, crosses to Sato, and into Vujakas. He loses the ball, and he gets called for a second foul, running into Guy Panini. So as quick as he helped his team with 4 points, Ian Vujakas goes out of the game with 2 fouls, and in comes Alex Maric, who did not play in the semifinal, John, but we talked to him, we talked to the Panathinaikos people. We had a feeling they would put his big body on Sofo tonight.
Yes, this is Obradovic for you. He knows when to use his players. I expect to see not only Madic on the floor now, I expect him to do a good job. We've seen him play in limited minutes, but when he's on the floor, he does a great job.
Pargo out to Edson. Edson with a second three-pointer for Maccabi, ties it up.
That's important for them to keep their confidence. With that big three-point shot by Chuck Edson, they tied the score.
Kalathis on the wing for Panathinaikos, gets in the lane, keeps the dribble, goes baseline for the layup. Nick Kalathis picks up where he left off in the semis.
Nick has been doing an excellent job. His first assignment's always been defense, but he's shown us some great offensive capabilities in his last couple of games.
David Blue in the post, working on Fotzis, fade away off the back of the rim, and there's Madic getting his first action with a rebound. Diamantidis to Sato in the post, spinning, turning. Romain Sato misses, and Chuck Edson comes the other way.
Just an all-around player, Frank. Edson does it all. Scores, passes, rebounds, steals, defends.
Gets it to Sofo. Sofo with the pass to Pargo. He just missed the dunk, but he got fouled. And you know, now that you've seen 2 double teams by Panathinaikos on Sofoklis Skortsinides, you know he's been schooled to expect it and get the pass off, which he did.
Excellent vision by Shortsinidis there. It's not always easy. Once you're double teamed or triple teamed, it's hard to get the ball out. He threw an excellent pass. Pargo wasn't able to finish, went up strong. You like to see that. Went up strong with 2 hands, was fouled. Now he goes to the free throw line.
Maccabi getting something against the double team. A couple free throws by Jeremy Pargo, trying to stay even on the scoreboard with Panathinaikos. He hits the first one.
He's a 68% free throw shooter. If there is any weakness in this Maccabi team, they've struggled at the free throw line.
But he hits both of them, Jeremy Pargo, to tie the ball game 8-8. We're midway through the first quarter in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague title game. And we see the replacement of Tal Borstein for Jeremy Pargo, as we also saw Stratos Perperoglu come in for Romain Sato.
Excuse me, Sink. We see a full court press to use up time. Panathinaikos is in their half court set. They've only got 13 seconds now to attack.
Diamantidis gets the lane, dishes off to Matic. He's surrounded, and there's a foul on the floor.
Matic is a big body down there. They're getting the ball. It's a good matchup. It's a nice matchup to see those two big bodies going after it. Sofo against Matic.
And an important foul drawn against Maccabi's all-EuroLeague first-team center, Sophocles Skurtsanitis, his first. Panathinaikos inbounds to Kalathis, gets a screen. Cross to Fultzes, inside to Matic. He's double-teamed, but he gets a shot off. Goes out, Fultzes with the putback.
Great hustle, came from behind the three-point line, went in and just ran and grabbed that rebound, was able to finish it, and he was fouled, goes to the free throw line.
And Johnny, just as important, it looks like that second foul will be called on Sophocles Skurtsanitis, and that is a big factor. 2 early fouls on Sofo, not drawn particularly because Panathinaikos went at him, but he just turned to try to get that rebound, and Fultzes was in the air getting it.
He didn't expect Fultzes coming from there, but you know, this are 2 different styles. I think the reason we haven't seen Baptiste to start the games, he's always finishing the games, but I think one of the reasons Obradovic likes to have him coming off the bench, he doesn't want to get him in foul trouble, early foul trouble, and we see Skurtsanitis now with 2 early fouls.
14 years, the most titles in the Final Four era that began in 1988 in Europe, and they're going for their 6th tonight against Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. They've appeared in 2 finals together, split them, and as well as 2 semifinals together, split them. So these teams, as traditional clubs, know each other well and what makes each other tick. Have you heard anything in the timeouts, John?
Wasn't able to hear with all the new noise, but be sure to expect some adjustments now by Maccabi. David Blatt has a lot of different defensive schemes he can use. Zones, he's got matchup zones, he's got regular zones. We're going to see, I'm sure we're going to see some full court pressure from them also.
And the big change in that timeout is that Sophocles Skurtsanitis takes a seat. Richard Hendricks comes in to replace him. He's on the floor with Borstein, Panini, Pargo, and Blue. And while Fultzes takes his free throws, he's on the floor with Matic, Perperoglu, Kalathis, and Diamantidis. There goes the 3-point play completed by Antonis Fultzes, giving his team an 8-11 lead in the EuroLeague, Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final.
We see a zone defense here. They start off in a zone, now looks like they're gonna follow their players.
Pargo gets in the lane, fade away, gets it off the board, rolls out. There's Richie Hendricks with the rebound, blocked by Matic. The ball's loose, Pargo comes up with it, out to Guy Panini. Hey, Guy Panini doesn't miss.
He doesn't even hit the rim. He's been shooting excellent, big 3-point shots. Strange to see, Maccabi has not made a 2-point field goal yet. We've seen some 3-pointers though.
Guy Panini tying it up, Fultzes from deep, off the front of the rim. Rebound flying around. And there's a foul called on Stratos Perperoglu, so Maccabi possession. They're 3-pointers, 3 of 5 from downtown, and keeping them in the game. Chuck Edson hit 1 of 2, but Guy Panini, what a story, grew up in Israel, dreamed of playing for Maccabi, joined the team last year, and right before this round, at the end of the playoffs, got a starting spot due to an injury to Doran Perkins, and he's done nothing but hit 3-pointers since then.
He's done an excellent job. Even if he doesn't hit the 3-point shot, what he does is he opens up the defense. You have to respect him out there. He doesn't need that much space, so he's going to draw his defender away. Even if he's not making the shots, he's very important for their offense.
David Blue at the foul line, hitting 2 and putting Maccabi in front 13-11. We're midway through the first quarter. Maccabi pressuring Diamantidis, but they get the ball across the line. Panathinaikos offense. Diamantidis gets a screen from Matic. Off to Kalathis, back to Diamantidis, and inside to Matic, getting his space. But he shuffles his feet before the shot, and that's a turnover for Panathinaikos.
He posted up right underneath the rim. He got great position. Hendricks was smart on that. He was bumping him, and then he got out of the way just in time. Matic moved his feet. They're going to sub in. Mike Batiste comes in the game now for Matic.
There you see first team all EuroLeague center Mike Batiste. They saved him until now in the first quarter. Obviously, his coach wanted him to not get fouls and be fresh for the end of the game. Mike Batiste in, but it's Maccabi ahead 13-11. And there's David Blue with a shot from the baseline that rims out. Kalathis comes the other way from Panathinaikos. And he goes right to Batiste, whose shot is blocked off the backboard, so that's goaltending and 2 points right off the bat from Mike Batiste.
Well, he's great at setting the pick. He's such a big body, sets a big pick, and he's very fast at rolling to the basket. That's what we've seen from Panathinaikos so far. They're setting that high pick and roll. Maccabi's going to have to find a way to answer.
Few teams have been able to stop it over the years. That's why they keep using it. And that's why they keep getting a lot out of it. Jeremy Pargo probing the Maccabi defense. Gets the ball back from Blue. Gets a screen. Shot clock at 4. Tries to go to Panini, but there's Diamantidis. And he finishes. Dimitris Diamantidis.
Excellent team defense led to that basket. We saw guys in the lane rotating. Diamantidis came out of nowhere to come over that steal. Finished it with a layup.
Puts Panathinaikos back in front. Pargo to Blue in the corner for a three-pointer off the back of the rim. Stratos Peroglou comes out running with the rebound. It's loose. He gets the ball back. No, it's loose again. They're on the floor. Mike Batiste comes up with it. And it's getting heated here in Barcelona. Batiste slamming the next pick and roll. Great pass from Diamantidis.
And he's fouled, so he's going to the free throw line. There we see it. He sets such a good pick on the ball. His man usually has to help, which allows him to be free when he's rolling to the basket.
The stars are out tonight in Barcelona. Dimitris Diamantidis and Mike Batiste seizing the momentum again for Maccabi, for Panathinaikos. Connecting on 2 pick and rolls in a row, and they run it so quick, John, and they get the spaces they need that it's almost unstoppable.
Well, they get the spaces because they have excellent three-point shooters on the weak side and in the corners. So you have to pick your poison. What do you guard? Who do you pick? Do you rotate or you try to stay home on your men, on your three-point shooters? Batiste makes the free throw, completes the three-point play.
Maccabi 13, Panathinaikos 18, and Panathinaikos keeping it up here in the first quarter. Maccabi came back and took a brief lead, but Panathinaikos struck right back. Talburstein going to the hoop for a dunk. It comes out, but Maccabi still has the ball. David Blue out top to Edson, but there's an offensive foul. Richie Hendricks knocks down Stratos Peroglou. But there you see one of those multiple EuroLeague winners, Talburstein. I don't know when the last time he's tried for a dunk, but he was not gonna be denied until he missed it.
Well, you come into these games, all of a sudden you feel 100%. He went in with confidence, tried to dunk that ball on Batiste. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the basket for Maccabi.
We see Milan Matran come into the game for Maccabi, a young player they picked up in mid-season, but you see David Blatt trying different combinations with Sofo having 2 fouls.
Well, it looks like they're changing the defense here. Looks like a zone defense. They've had trouble sticking with them in a man-to-man set.
Kalathis had to pull the ball out of that zone. He's got it to Batiste, so they don't want to have the ball on the perimeter. Kalathis has it back. Shot clock winding down. Peroglou launches in and out, and there's Matchman grabbing a rebound.
We've already seen 3 centers from Maccabi in the first quarter.
Pargo inside to Edson, turns around, one-hander off the backboard. Chuck Edson.
Great composure, great skills, big hands to be able to palm that ball. He looked around, probably looking for a pass. He's always looking to pass first. That time he just went up and made the shot.
Diamantidis bounce pass to Batiste, and he puts it down. What a pick and roll.
We've seen it time and time again. They're going to have to come up with some solution if they want to stop this Panathinaikos team.
What a series of shots here. Edson, one-hand double pump off the backboard. Here's Pargo trying to answer back from Maccabi. Gets it to Borstein. They try to go into Matchman.
Great defense by Kalatis. Didn't wait for Matchman to get the ball. He's denying. He's three-quartering Matchman underneath the basket because he was with a mismatch.
Diamantidis back in the lane, kicks out to Perperoglu, who drives this time, gets the ball slapped by Tal Borstein, but it looks like it's out on Maccabi, and therefore Panathinaikos keeps possession. Mike Batiste just came in the game and already has 7 points, 3 for 3, and he was 5 for 5 on Friday night in the semifinal, John, so he's perfect at the Final Four so far.
Well, his shots are so high percentage. He gets the ball underneath the basket and usually finishes strong.
Diamantidis on the reverse, puts it in, right-handed reverse by the left-hander, Dimitris Diamantidis, putting on a show in the first quarter, 15-22 with 30 seconds left. Let's see if Maccabi can answer in that time left and trim this a little. Edson with the ball, double teamed, gets it into Matchman, tries to go up, blocked by Fotzis. Panathinaikos has taken the momentum. They have a chance with 15 seconds left to finish this first quarter strong. They lost the lead briefly. Let's see what happens. Diamantidis and Batiste. Gets it to Batiste. 3 on the shot clock. Diamantidis fakes, three-pointer off the front of the rim. And that is how it's going to end. The first quarter, 15-22. Panathinaikos ahead, made a big surge to finish the first quarter. And that gives us a chance to get our breath during the break and look at our flashback about these two teams, courtesy of Turkish Airlines.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. We would like to welcome onto the court.
Welcome back to Palau Sant Jordi in Barcelona, Spain. Ready for second quarter action in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final with Maccabi 15, Panathinaikos 22. Panathinaikos surging at the end of the first quarter, but the stats-wise, the big thing going on right now is that Maccabi has 3 for 6 three-pointers. Panathinaikos hasn't hit any, but the story is on the two-pointers. 10%, 1 for 10 for Maccabi, but Panathinaikos is 10 for 13, almost everything right around the rim, and that's why they have a 15-22 lead.
That's true. Also, Panathinaikos blocked 4 shots in that first quarter. A tremendous amount of block shots for just for 10 minutes.
Maccabi trying to get back its rhythm. Lior Eliyahu throws in the basket off the backboard, misses. Batiste comes up with a rebound. We see Drew Nicholas in the game for Panathinaikos, joined by posted Sad is back on the floor. Double team Nicholas, the ball comes loose. Pargo's up with it. Matchman to Edson from downtown. Chuck Edson keeps the three-pointers falling, at least for Maccabi.
Frank, how'd you like that fast break? Starts by the defense. Chuck Edson got the ball behind the three-point line with a hand in his face, didn't hesitate. He went up and shot that three-pointer.
Diamantidis passes to Nicholas. Looking for Sartsadis and back to Diamantidis. He's guarded by David Blue. Diamantidis drive to Mike Batiste. He's got to get the shot off. Shot clock running out. Perperoglu in the corner off the back of the rim. Edson comes away with the rebound. Coming the other way, Chuck Edson, the hero of the semifinal, gets in the lane. Dishes to Eliyahu, misses. An easy shot. He had some trouble the other night in the semifinal, only finished with 1 point, even though he was their second leading scorer, and he still has a little nerves, Lior Eliyahu. Diamantidis with Batiste. There's a foul on that play. Looks like it's going to go against Jeremy Pargo.
Trying to fight over that big pick by Mike Batiste. We see it here. And Diamantidis does a great thing. He uses that pick. You see how little space there was between him and Mike Batiste. So it forces his opponent to go under, and Batiste is so wide, gives a lot of space.
Guy Panini back into the game as Maccabi coach David Blatt looking for combinations to stay close. He's down 18-22, Panathinaikos ahead. Drew Nicholas with the ball, to Diamantidis in the corner, Romain Sato, back to Diamantidis, launches a three, hits a three, Dimitris Diamantidis.
The defense for Maccabi was just one step slow on that. They left the guy open in the corner, they rotated, spotted the open man on top, didn't get there in time to challenge the three-point shot.
Nice pass by Sato. Maccabi. Edson working with Matchman. Gets it back to him. Matchman makes the layup this time. And Maccabi needed that, John.
Yes, they went to Panathinaikos method, playing pick and roll basketball. They had a clear open shot. Great execution on the pick and roll.
Coming back the other way, Panathinaikos. Drew Nicholas to Diamantidis. In the high post to Batiste. Back in three. The Maccabi players down. Gets it back out. There's the call on the play. Looks like it's going to be a foul.
Surprising, he had single coverage. Maccabi chose single coverage until he just got so close to the basket. All of a sudden, we see three players right there surrounding Mike Batiste. He got hit, so it's going to be a foul.
Looks like Milan Matchman was called for that foul. Had his hand on the ball to begin with, but may have pulled the arm away in the fight for the ball. So it's Panathinaikos in possession again. Drew Nicholas, Diamantidis, Sato. Cross to Nicholas. Nicholas driving, stop and pop. Off the front of the rim, rebound goes to David Blue, and Maccabi comes the other way. Jeremy Pargo out top to Chuck Edson, fake, short jumper, nothing but net. Chuck Edson keeping Maccabi within 22-25.
Great skills. We've seen him hit the three-point shot. The defense went for his fake, one dribble pull-up jumper, scoring a mid-range.
Diamantidis to Satsaitis, back to Diamantidis and into Batiste. Working on Matchman. No double team yet. But Matchman gets called for pushing.
You see Matchman matched up against Batiste. He's a young player, was acquired halfway through the season. Big body out there, doing a great job in these minutes he's been in the game so far.
But Panathinaikos has caused a little bit of problems, of course, with the two fouls to Sofos Skortsanitis. That's why he's off the floor. This young guy, Milan Matchman, just joined Maccabi midseason, has his second foul now.
That's all right. They're using the fouls, Frank. It doesn't matter. There's no tomorrow. They're going to use their fouls. They're going to be physical. They've got three players inside to play.
Diamantidis now screening with Vujoukas. Tries to finish himself this time, but there's a foul before the shot by Chuck Edson. He was coming behind, and Diamantidis did a stutter step, so he fouled him from behind. He was pursuing Diamantidis.
We see right there, Frank, Diamantidis is, watch this change of direction, change of speed. He's very good at that, very clever. He's not the fastest guy, but you see he always gets underneath the basket. He gets to where he wants to go.
Diamantidis with the ball again for Panathinaikos. Satsaitis to Sato. Sato's going to launch it from downtown, off the front of the rim, but there's Vujoukas battling for the rebound. Pargo comes up with it, looking to run. Takes a three-pointer in transition off the brim. Vujoukas got down court for that rebound. Drew Nicholas coming the other way from Panathinaikos. Body's on the floor. He tries to get Diamantidis in the corner and does. Back to Vujoukas. Vujoukas struggling, gets the ball out to Drew Nicholas. And Drew Nicholas working on Matchman, takes him to the hoop, in Drew Nicholas on the scoreboard.
Nice to see Drew Nicholas start off here good. He didn't contribute so much to the semifinals victory, but we know he's capable of doing a great job.
We are seeing some great offense and some great defense by these two teams. Only 5 turnovers each here at the midpoint of the second quarter. Edson on the wing for Maccabi. Still has the ball. Chuck Edson working on Vujoukas. He's getting a double team run at him. He's got to get the shot off, and he hits it. Chuck Edson, fake it, jumper.
Look at that footwork. Step through the defense. Usually see that move closer to the basket. He was behind the three-point line. That's basically a post move. He got that.
It's 24-27, midway through the second quarter of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final. Lots of drama on the court already. Diamantidis into Vujoukas, slapped away by Blue. Matchman comes up with it. Passes to Pargo. And Kostas Satsaitis stops that fast break with a foul. Chuck Edson already up to 12 points after his spectacular show in the semifinals. He's keeping it going.
Well, they're going to give him a rest now. He's doing an outstanding job. He's doing a great job on defense also. But as we see, as you said, Frank, 12 points already. very high amount for him because he's a very unselfish player. We see some great passes from him and great defense as a constant.
Leading scorer for Panathinaikos so far, Mike Batiste with 7 points. Panini back. He's got the ball in the wing for Maccabi. Guy Panini takes side. It's in the corner to David Blue. Shorter jumper for Blue, in and out. Panini comes up with the rebound. And he launches from deep. This time he misses with some good defense by Sato. That's 2 for 3 for Panini. He wondered when he was going to miss.
Well, you know, he just wanted to get the shot off. He's got such a great touch, great shooting ability. Any chance he gets, he's going to want to shoot it. But you see, he's much more effective when he's not dribbling the ball.
That rebound was loose. That was going to stay with Maccabi, we believe. Inbounds for Maccabi, but there's a timeout on the floor. At a 24-27 score in favor of Panathinaikos, as we said, midway through the second quarter of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final title game. And as we take a break for this timeout, we'll hope to have a look at what happened last night in Barcelona at the FS.
Dimitris Diamandidis of Panathinaikos, Athens. One more award for this season. Thank you, Dimitris.
EuroLeague, there he is, Dimitris Diamandidis. What a special player. John, you've watched him for a long time. What makes him so special?
Well, first of all, he's so unselfish. He just does whatever it takes. He does whatever it takes. If it's blocking shots, we've seen him many times will lead the team in rebounding. In his earlier years, before joining Panathinaikos, he actually led his team average in rebounds. Gets a lot of block shots. He's got very long arms, great hands, excellent vision, excellent court vision, passing. But you know what he's done lately? He's been able to make those big shots at the end of the game. Not only free throws, but he's been making big three-point shots, and he's just a true champion.
Dimitris Diamandidis led the EuroLeague in assists this season with 6.1 per game. He's got 4 already in the final. We're only in the second quarter. He had 9 in the semifinal. He actually is the top scorer. I misspoke with 9 points so far for Panathinaikos. And he said he's done it all in his league. He was 4 years ago when they won the title in Athens. In his first Final Four, he was the MVP of the Final Four. Dimitris Diamandidis, season MVP, and has Panathinaikos up 24-27. Maccabi ball, they are not going away. Nothing like it. Panini to Tal Borstein on the wing. Zoned by Panathinaikos. Borstein stops and pops. In and out his shot. Fultz wraps the rebound. We see Calates back on the floor for Panathinaikos.
Calates is very important now, a key member to this team.
Gets in the lane, lobs to Madic, and in Nick Calates to Madic, another combination for Panathinaikos.
Great pass and great position by Madic to get that position so close to the basket and get the space.
Jeremy Pargo with the ball from Maccabi. He keeps it, drives on Calates in the corner to Panini. But Panini got run into, couldn't get off his feet to get the shot off and the foul called and the free throws, but he got the foul. And that will remain possession for Maccabi Tel Aviv. So far, Johnny, 2-point shots. Panathinaikos 12 for 17 for 70%, as opposed to 23%, 4 for 19 for Maccabi. And that is the difference, however slight, on the scoreboard, 24-29.
Maccabi's still in this game, obviously. Seems like they're only down by 5 points. They have the ball here. They're in great position because we know they can play even better than what they're doing now.
And they will go inside for sure. Now the big Sophocles Skortsanidis is back on the floor. If they can get the ball there, David Blue's got it. Goes to Tal Borstein in the corner. The shot clock was running out, and they called a 3 seconds violation on Sophocles Skortsanidis. So that's a turnover for Maccabi. Just 6 so far. Both teams had 6 turnovers. But Sophocles not getting comfortable yet is a little bit of a problem for Maccabi. He's got the 2 fouls. Let's see if he can keep away from getting a three. That's why Maccabi's in the zone. Drew Nicholas with the ball for Panathinaikos.
It's going to be an offensive foul on Madic, using his hand. Panini had great position there. Madic didn't need to use his offhand, but tried to get better position. Refs caught him on that one. You see it right here.
There you see, got his arm up too high, caught some of Panini's head, and that's a turnover for Panathinaikos. Very important last 3 minutes before halftime, 3.5 minutes. Panathinaikos up 5. Maccabi doesn't want to get any further than that. Here's Panini, cross court in the corner to Blue, and Blue knocks it down. The shooters are on tonight for Maccabi Tel Aviv, John.
Well, that's really a normal result. We saw Blue miss an early three-point shot, which is very rare. That time, he didn't miss, didn't hesitate, went up. Panathinaikos is going to have to go out and challenge those shots.
Maccabi 5 for 10 from downtown. Panathinaikos. The Foxes, he's going to try from deep. Off the back of the rim. Rebound comes to him, though. And Kalathis pulls it out. Kalathis working with Madic. Goes back to Madic, who goes back to Kalathis. Sofo on Kalathis. Madic, Kalathis dribbling through. Peperoglu from the corner. He hits it.
Great patience, great teamwork. 2-point shot there. Panathinaikos doing an excellent job on their offense, executing.
Stratos Peperoglu getting on the scoreboard for Panathinaikos, keeping that lead at 4, 27-31. Jeremy Pargo working with Skortanides, gets him the ball in deep, up for the shot. Madic gets a hand on it. Pargo rebound. Borstein from deep, off the mark. Blue flying in for the rebound, but he gets called for going over the back of Peperoglu. We'll see it on the replay. No, we see the replay of Blue's three-pointer. And here's Peperoglu shooting from the baseline. But at the other end, it was a over-the-back foul by David Blue of Maccabi.
Give David Blue, it's a foul. They call a foul on him here, but give him credit for crashing the boards. That's great effort. Unfortunately for Maccabi, it results in a foul, and it's going to be 2 free throws now.
2 free throws for Stratos Peperoglu of Panathinaikos, who's been a 71% free throw shooter this season. He missed the first one, however. Let's see if we can get one of the points out of that foul. But you're right, John. If you're David Bly, you'd like to see David Blue going for that rebound. Don't like to see this, though. Madic coming back. Sofo gets it off the rim, but it goes out of bounds and remain Panathinaikos ball. Madic is having an effect.
Oh, he sure is. He sure is. He came out. He hasn't played in these recent games, but you see he didn't hang his head. He got in the game, and he's contributed from the second he stepped on the floor.
We see Dimitris Diamantidis and Romain Sato coming in assuredly to finish the half. 2 minutes, 9 seconds left. And Panathinaikos clinging to a 4-point difference, 27-31. We saw some spectacular offense at the beginning of this quarter. Maccabi led by 2 in the first quarter. And Panathinaikos has had leads as high as 7. Here's Diamantidis trying to make it 7 again. He's off. Blue with the rebound. Gets the ball out to Panini. Panini inside to Sofo right away. In the corner to Edson. Edson's flying to the hoop. Another one-hander, misses this time. He was looking for the foul.
There was contact on that. No call by the referee.
Drew Nicholas with the ball from Panathinaikos to Diamantidis, gets the screen from Madic. Goes in the corner to Sato, who drives, but he shuffled his feet. That's a traveling violation. With 1:29 left, another chance for Maccabi to cut into the lead, but there's a timeout on the floor first, and it's 27-31. Very, very hectic pace, up and down. Quick shots. Nobody's waiting out the shot clock or slowing up this game, John.
It's not a high-scoring game. We're at 31-27 with a minute and a half to play still in the first half. But you cannot complain about the pace of this game. You're seeing both teams get up and down the floor, and they're pushing it offense.
We're seeing very few free throws, and if that is an indication of anything, Panathinaikos is the expert team and has been for years getting to the free throw line. Maccabi is really doing a good job to keep them off the free throw line so far with just 4 attempts at the free throw line for Panathinaikos. They average upwards of 25 a game.
That's a great point, Frank. Panathinaikos usually, they make their living at the free throw line. They lead the EuroLeague, this competition. Most free throws made per game, most free throws shot per game.
But they are ahead. Panathinaikos 31, Maccabi 27. And if you don't hear those crowds making a ton of noise now, you know how tense this game is. Nobody feels like they have the momentum yet. When they do, though, there'll be some more roaring like we heard before the game, and every time there's been a big shot.
They've been screaming this whole weekend. We see them, we even saw them yesterday on the streets in Barcelona. So enthusiastic about their teams. They live this basketball. They live for their teams.
Speaking of Barcelona, John, I don't know if you could think of a better place to have this kind of event, this great basketball in Palau Sant Jordi, and all the great things we've seen outside in the city during the entire weekend, in the Esplanade, a concert last night, the award ceremony, some great charitable efforts with Special Olympics and with UNICEF. And it's just been a basketball party for 3 days. Culminates now, last minute and a half of the first half. Chuck Edson has the ball from Maccabi. Jeremy Pargo takes the handoff out to David Blue, launching from way downtown. David Blue has Maccabi within 1, 30-31.
That play was set up by Foltz, thinking he had the help on the drive by Pargo. You can't give Blue any space, even if he's that far away from the basket. He'll just kill you on those plays.
I think he took one step back to get more room. Here's Diamantidis trying to answer. Cross court to Sato. He's going to launch from deep, and he's going to hit. Romain Sato answers back.
They give him a two-pointer on that, but great, excellent vision, court vision by Diamantidis to throw it over the defense and spot his open man on the weak side.
Last 40 seconds of the first half. Pargo dribble inside, gets it out to Panini. Stays with Foltz. Panini on the dribble, goes in the lane, goes off the backboard. Shot doesn't go down, but the ball stays with Maccabi, knocked out by Alex Matic. And Maccabi's living on those shooters. They have 6 3-pointers to 1 for Panathinaikos. They'll get another chance now to get it closer. If they get a 3-pointer now, they'll have it tied 30-33. We see Mike Batiste come back in the game for Panathinaikos with 30 seconds left. At least some seconds for, there's Blue, he's not waiting. Off the rim, tip to Edson, blocked by Sato. What action, what a great tip by Matchman to Edson. He thought he was alone, but there came Sato with a huge block. That saved 2 points for sure.
Panathinaikos going to try to run the clock off. Get the last shot.
Gets in the lane, goes to Batiste, overthrows him. The ball's loose, Batiste gets it back to Diamantidis, blocked by Matchman. And that is how a thrilling first half of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final ends. Bodies on the floor, bodies going out of bounds. Unbelievable, 30-33 score at halftime. Maccabi 30, Panathinaikos 33. And there's one thing you could say after one half is that this is wide open. Both of these teams are putting their hearts out there, John. And you cannot predict who's going to win this game, even at halftime.
This is incredible. Everybody's making a contribution for both teams. You guys have guys coming off the bench. You have the starters. Just a great team effort by both sides. Excellent basketball.
Okay, there you see it, a 30-33 halftime score, nothing but action. We will come back for the second half, and when we do, you'll see the top 10 plays of the EuroLeague season, and we will join you later for the second half of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final.
Shorsanidis, who hasn't gotten off to a good start, but there's still 20 minutes to play in this game.
Second half about to start. Each team has a different player starting here than they did at halftime. David Blue on for Lior Eliyahu, and Drew Nicholas on for Nick Kalathis. Nicholas with the ball goes cross court to Sato and into Batiste, operating on Sofo. The double team back to Sato. Sato takes a short jumper off the mark, and Pargo pulls down the rebound from Maccabi. Jeremy Pargo, second team All EuroLeague Throws it into Sophocles Schwarzenegger, but gets swatted away by Nicholas. Foltzes to Diamantidis, back to Nicholas. Goes to Sato in the corner. Nicholas out top. Gets a screen from Batiste. Into Batiste, wide open, and a layup by Mike Batiste to get the second half going.
Very patient Panathinaikos players there. We saw Nicholas had a three-point shot earlier, passed it up, went to Sato, he was open, passed that up, he ended up with a shot underneath the basket.
Jeremy Pargo to the rim with a spin, oh my!
A 360 layup going through the middle of the zone. That's what we're used to seeing from Jeremy Pargo this year, spectacular play.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Jeremy Pargo spinning through the lane for a 360 layup. Drew Nicholas with the ball for Panathinaikos. Gets bumped by Sofo. The ball's loose. Swatted out to Diamantidis. He drives. Look at Sofo covering everybody. Edson comes out with the ball. Off to Pargo. Off the rim. His layup misses. Foltzes comes up with the rebound, but there's Panini. Getting the loose ball. Maccabi keeps it. What a start to the second half, John.
They're picking up right where they left off.
Pargo out top, he's got Batiste, but he goes into Sofo, who's fouled with the ball in the air by Diamantidis.
They have the mismatch on both sides, on the ball and off the ball. You see Batiste there with the
There's
layup.
Batiste play. There's the spin, 360 layup.
Great body control by Pargo.
He's no rookie anymore. Jeremy Pargo.
We've watched him progress this season. He's turned into an excellent point guard, doing it all for Maccabi.
We saw Alex Maric come in and replace Mike Batiste for Panathinaikos. And he's got to guard Sofo. Sofo double team, gets the ball to Pargo. Pargo gets fouled as he goes for a layup by Antonis Foltzes. We saw that in the first half, John. That Sofo knew exactly what to do when he knew the double team was on him.
Well, you know, Coach Blatt talks about Sofo. He's a very intelligent player. We've already seen it twice. He's been double teamed, triple teamed. Look at that nice little bounce pass there. Finds an open man underneath the basket, but Pargo wasn't able to finish because he was fouled.
Pargo gets the foul line and hits the first free throw, makes it 33-35. There was a 7-point lead by Panathinaikos in the first half. Maccabi has short 2-point lead in the first quarter, but otherwise it's been 4 and under most of the way. Now it's down to 1. 34-35, Panathinaikos clinging to a 1-point lead. Pressure from Maccabi. Ball ahead to Madic, almost stolen by Edson, but goes out of bounds and will stay Panathinaikos ball. We expect to see more pressure like that from Maccabi as we go along?
Without a question, Frank. We can sense the momentum has turned a little bit. Panathinaikos is holding on to a 1-point lead, but it's a different game than it was earlier in the first half.
Diamantidis loose in the lane, he spins. Sends the ball out to Foltzes, but he's called for walking before he does so. That's a turnover for Panathinaikos. We've had relatively low turnovers through most of the first half, but now Panathinaikos is up to 9 to just 7 for Maccabi. Maccabi goes inside and scores Anitas again. No stopping him that low.
He was set right underneath the basket. Such a big body, single coverage, tough assignment for Madic. Can't let him get so close to the basket because he'll get a shot off quick.
First 2 points for Big Sofo puts Maccabi ahead 36-35. He had 3 assists before he had 2 points. So he's doing his job whatever way he can. Drew Nicholas steps on the line, takes it and hits it. 2-pointer for Drew Nicholas puts Panathinaikos back in front. And Drew Nicholas has 4 points now. If he gets warmed up, he was Panathinaikos' 3rd leading scorer this season. Cross court, Edson in the corner, inside the Big Sofo.
Frank, that's actually a correct call because he was in the paint, posting up Schwarzenegger. He went out of bounds, but he didn't go out of the key. So the 3 seconds continue counting. It's a very good call by LaMonica.
Great call by referee Luigi LaMonica. And we see Panathinaikos drawing a foul on Chuck Edson. That's his 3rd. Out away from the basket. I'm sure David Blatt didn't want to see that.
Well, they're going to be physical. They don't want to give anybody any space. Great rebound by Sato.
Panathinaikos missed, rebounded by Romain Sato. And they pull it back out through Nicholas. Cross to Sato. Back to Nicholas. Gets a screen from Matic. Goes to Diamantidis and in the corner to Sato. Three-point shot misses. Flying in for the rebound. Guy Panini and Chuck Edson coming the other way from Maccabi.
They've got a mismatch. Fotis guarding Shortsanidis. Single coverage.
Fotis kicks it out to Edson. Off the mark, and Fotis comes up with the rebound.
He's got a tactical foul. It's his third, but he didn't want Panathinaikos to get on the break. Shortsanidis stops the fast break with the foul. He's tired. This has been a fast-paced third quarter so far, and he's going to have to go to the bench because he has 3 fouls, Shortsanidis.
Little frustration on the part of Sophocles Shortsanidis, so he's out of the game. And coming in for Maccabi is the young guy, Milan Matchman. He had no points the other night, but he's come in and done some good stuff with some blocks already. Here's Nicholas from deep. Matchman with the rebound. And Panathinaikos clinging to that 1-point lead. Jeremy Pargo going baseline. Passes off to Edson. His one-hander off the rim. And Batiste comes up with the rebound.
Great position by Batiste on the weak side, helping out on that drive by Edson.
Diamantidis with Batiste, kicks out to Sato from long range. He hits it. Romain Sato has Panathinaikos up 4.
You've got so many threats on the floor right now. We know Nicholas can shoot. We've seen Diamantidis make it. Sato's also able to come up with clutch 3-point shoot.
Jeremy Pargo with the ball. Gets a screen from Matchman, but doesn't use it. There's David Blue launching off the front of the rim. Sato rips the rebound. And Panathinaikos has beaten back the momentum shift by Maccabi. Nicholas in the lane. Pulls it out to Diamantidis. Gets a screen from Batiste. Off to Sato. He's trying it again. He's hitting it again. Romain Sato.
Again, that was set up from the pick and roll play. Sato's man had to help on Batiste's roll. Left Sato wide open. And he just drained the 3-point shot.
Sato up to 8 points, but 6 of them on the last 2 offenses. 2 big shots by Romain Sato has the lead up to with his highest of the first half, 7 points, 36-43 with a 0-8 run. David Blue for Maccabi driving and finishing. David Blue fighting back. He's a 3-point shooter, but he saw the opportunity to go to the basket and finish.
And he has a chance to get a 3-point play on this. Because of that, he went directly straight to the basket. That's what you like to see. If you got any kind of daylight, go straight to the basket. Don't round your way off. He took it right to the basket, finished, was fouled.
There's a timeout on the floor and a 38-43 scoreboard. We're going to take a break and see our in the game feature on Maccabi forward Chuck Edson.
In a competition full of unique basketball talents, Maccabi Electra swingman Chuck Edson is among the most versatile of them all. Edson led Maccabi in performance index rating through a 9-game winning streak, leading to the EuroLeague's best regular season record. By putting defense first, Edson would finish the season as the EuroLeague leader with 2.6 steals per game. He also ranked 8th in assists as the only player taller than 2 meters in the top 25. Edson's playmaking has become particularly important to Maccabi since guard Doran Perkins was lost to injury in the playoffs. To his versatility, Edson adds big game experience as a former EuroCup MVP who led Lietuvos Rytas to that title in 2009. Whether ball handling, rebounding, passing, stealing, or making shots, expect Chuck Edson to be at the centre of Maccabi's efforts, with the season's biggest games being played at the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four.
And there we had a good look at Chuck Edson, who's leading his team with 12 points in this game, in this final. He was also the scoring leader in the semifinal for Maccabi with 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 steals. You saw he's the steals leader. Keep an eye on him, see if he comes up with a big steal in the rest of this game. We have a 38-43 scoreboard with Panathinaikos ahead midway through the third quarter of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final. 15 minutes to a champion. It's been close most of the way. Panathinaikos has had the two biggest breaks of 7 points. But now David Blue is on the foul line trying to finish a three-point play that will cut it back to 4. And he does just that.
Also gives Maccabi a chance to set up in their half-court pressure.
There you see it. Pressure on the ball by Maccabi. Diamantidis gets the ball across. Dishes off to Drew Nicholas, back to Diamantidis. Goes to Santel, this time he drives. Cross court to Fotis, out to Nicholas. Great ball movement, but the shot rims in, up and down. Drew Nicholas, those are the kind of shots you need to win titles, John.
What a bounce, and that's what shooters get. You get a shooter's touch on that. Nicholas is a great shooter, but what a bounce he got on that play.
That brought the Panathinaikos fans in the air. They were already on their feet. Here's Pargo trying to fight back. Diamantidis gets called for that foul. Dimitris Diamantidis
used his hands a little bit too much on this play, I think.
Looks like his third foul on Dimitris Diamantidis. Fouls are not second, I'm sorry. That's not such a big thing in the second half. Fouls have not been a major factor yet, except for Sophocles Skourtsanidis missing some time. Maccabi missed. Machman with the rebound goes back up. Milan Machman giving his team a bit of a lift every time he's been in the game so far. He's up to 5 rebounds, ties him with Edson for the most in this game so far. And Milan Machman's only been on the floor 10 minutes. This is a young player that Maccabi picked up at mid-season for his future potential, but he's giving something to them right here in the final.
You're absolutely right, Frank. Looks like a veteran out there coming from the bench, not scared. This is such a huge pressure game. You don't notice it at all. He's playing like a veteran out there. We saw him try to get that shot off left-handed. Very skilled for a big man, very young player, but skilled.
Hits 1 out of 2 free throws. He's also a fantastic shooter for a big man. We'll see how much more he has to do with this decision time in the EuroLeague. Who will win the title tonight? Nicholas Drew from Panathinaikos with the ball. Third quarter action. Drew drives. Drew gets bumped by Guy Panini.
We're seeing excellent performances and great contributions from their bench players. Panini has been a bench player for the majority of the year, but David Blatt has done such an excellent job with his players. You've seen all their players get better as the season's gone on.
Ball back in play. Diamantidis goes inside to Batiste, but his pass was tipped out of bounds and will stay Panathinaikos possession. It has been a thriller so far. 13 minutes left. Look at Diamantidis to Fotis all alone under the basket. And that's a great play right there, John.
Great execution, great picks, great cuts. Spotted Fotis underneath the basket. Had the presence of mind to make a fake this man up in the air, and he passed it. Instead of going up, the last thing he should have done, he should have heard the whistle, he should have tried to get the shot off. It would have been 2 free throws.
So Panathinaikos inbounds again to Diamantidis, working with Batiste. Backing down, loses the handle. Batiste comes up with it. But Richie Hendricks going for the ball, knocked him over.
Well, they're playing so physical. Look how far away they are from the basket. Hendricks is applying great pressure. Same with Pargo. Doesn't matter where they are on the court. Wherever the ball is, Maccabi's pressuring that ball.
That's only the 3rd foul on Richie Hendricks. He and Chuck Edson have 3 each. But this time, with that foul, Batiste will go to the line and have a chance to add to this Panathinaikos lead. If he makes both free throws, his team will have their biggest lead so far in this game. They're up by 6. They were up by 7 in the first half and early in the second. But Mike Batiste has a chance to open the biggest breach on the scoreboard with 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, 13 minutes to play. We see Lior Eliyahu come back into the game for Maccabi. He has not been effective. I'm sorry, it was David Blue coming back into the game. And Mike Batiste misses the first free throw. So he will not be able to give Panathinaikos their high lead so far. But he does even the highest lead so far this game by making it 40-47. Chuck Edson with the ball for Maccabi. handing off to Pargo. And he goes inside to Hendricks, blocked by Batiste. Big help defense by Mike Batiste. Calathes in the game. Calathes driving, kicks out to Nicholas. Looking for a screen and gets it from Batiste. Nicholas launching from deep, off the rim. Batiste battling, but Chuck Edson knocks it out of bounds. And here you see Batiste blocked it off the backboard, swatted it to his teammate, and was right there for that rebound too. Panathinaikos keeps the ball, and Calathes sneaks behind the defense for a layup. Great pass by Batiste.
Great play. That was just reading the defense. That was not a play. They just read the defense. Maccabi was trying to switch on that. Calathes had the presence of mind to slip behind the defense. Batiste made a great pass for an easy layup.
And that is the game's biggest lead, 40-49. Jeremy Pargo has a mismatch with Fotis, launches a three-pointer. Pargo, he comes out to Sato. And walking it up is Nick Calathes, the biggest comfort zone either team has had yet. 9 points. Calathes looking for Fotis. He drives, look at Fotis, jamming! Double-digit lead, Antonis Fotis.
Beautiful play, hung in the air, double pumped it, and was able to throw it down with two hands. Adonis Fotis, excellent play from a great player.
What an assortment of skills we're seeing tonight. There's smart basketball by Nick Calathes and Mike Batiste, and here is Antonis Fotis slamming and jamming. He can hit from three-pointers, he can block shots. John, you won with Antonis Fotis back in 2000 when these two teams played the final when he was just a teenager. He came back to Panathinaikos and did it again in 2009, and he's still going strong.
It was a tribute. When we went to Salonika to play that 2000 final, Fotis was playing as a 2, as a 3, as a 4. He was so versatile for us. And as it turned out, he had a very important role in that first final.
He had 9 or 10 points when you guys beat Maccabi back in 2000. And of course, he is part of this effort here. So far tonight, that was 5 points by him. He's got 5 rebounds as well, tying Sato for the most rebounds on Panathinaikos. They're out-rebounding Maccabi 25-22, and that is a switch since halftime.
You know, Frank, I'm sorry. We're talking about the points that Fotis gives the team. It's not only the points that he gives them, he's stretching the defense. The defense has to respect his three-point shot. So what he does, he's opening up holes for his teammates. And we see all the Panathinaikos players are very unselfish. Nobody cares about their stats. They are in it for one thing, to win. I've been on teams where the first thing after the game in the locker room, you want to see the stat sheet, scoreboard. That doesn't happen at Panathinaikos. They want to know who won the game. That's all that's important. They don't care about individual stats. That's why they're so successful.
And there we see the fans of these two great finalists urging their team on. Maccabi just as strong as Panathinaikos, even though their team's down 11. And if there's one team in Europe that might be able to make up a difference like this, it's Maccabi Tel Aviv. They have the ball. Jeremy Pargo to Chuck Edson, working on Fotis. Asks for a screen from Hendricks and gets it. Kicks to Pargo in the corner to Panini. Steps inside the three-point line. Off the back of the rim guy, Panini. The shots aren't falling.
This great closeout by Nicholas. They know they can't give him any space. Force Panini to take a dribble and pull up. That's not the best shot for him. He's great with his feet set.
Second half action in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final. Mike Batiste for Panathinaikos gives it to Drew Nicholas. Shot clock running down. Nicholas goes into the lane off to Batiste. Swatted away by Edson. The dunk attempt missed because the ball never got there. Edson comes back the other way. David Blue on the wing. Gets it to Hendricks, to Panini, and to Pargo. Pargo working on Batiste, crosses over. Gets near the rim, gives it to Blue in the corner. David Blue, nothing but net.
You don't want to leave him alone. They had a mismatch on the ball. Pargo was very unselfish, found his open teammate. Obradovic certainly doesn't like that defensive sequence by his team. You cannot leave David Blue alone.
It was 11-1 run for Panathinaikos before that shot by Blue. There are 31 seconds left in the third quarter. difference of 8, 43 to 51. Calates has the ball. Maccabi in the zone. Nicholas out top. Back to Calates, looking for Batiste. Passing lane was cut off. Calates keeps it, gets in lane. Off to Sato. Romain Sato with his third three-pointer of the third quarter.
Huge shot. Answers the three-point shot from David Blue. Sato answers it with a three. Again, great unselfish play by Panathinaikos.
Time running out. Pargo with the ball. Edson tries to launch from deep. He hits it! Chuck Edson on the buzzer. Answers back. Let's see if the shot is allowed. Time was running out. We're going to see what the referees decide.
They will review the call. Give Chuck Edson credit for making that shot. We're going to see if it's going to count or not, but give him the credit for being able to make that shot.
Right now it's 43 to 54 on the scoreboard. We will see what the decision is. But what a finish to the third quarter.
We don't need it. Thank you. Play. Do your job.
We're going to wait and see what the replay decision is, and the shot has been called off.
Luciana, the referee right there, saw the video, was able to evaluate it.
And basket is no good, and we will see our In the Game feature sponsored by Nike on Romain Sato of Panathinaikos after we see the replay. And you can see the lights were on by the time he got the shot off, but what a shot anyway. There we go, In the Game, sponsored by Nike, about Romain Sato of Panathinaikos. There we see him. Romain Sato had a big part in Panathinaikos, taking an 11-point lead after 3 quarters in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final. He has 11 points and 6 rebounds. He's the top scorer and the top rebounder for Panathinaikos so far. And as you saw in the final of the video with the flag from the Central African Republic, trying to become actually the 4th player from Africa to win a EuroLeague title, but only the 2nd one that's ever represented his national team. And last year was Boni Endong of Barcelona, and this time Romain Sato of the Central African Republic, doing a job in the third quarter for Panathinaikos. Here's Jeremy Pargo. Maccabi down 11. They got to get something back. John, if there's any team that can do it, it's Maccabi.
That's absolutely correct, Frank. They've led the EuroLeague teams in scoring by at least a 4-point margin this season. If anybody can do it, it's them. Panathinaikos has got a great defense. They've held Maccabi to 43 points after 3 quarters. It's something we haven't seen yet this year.
And we see Big Sofo back in the game, and Maccabi going right to him. There's a slam. Look at the footwork and the speed by Big Sofo.
Very quick, deceptively fast, and excellent pass on the bounce pass by Jeremy Pargo from out of bounds.
Just the start. Maccabi won into the 4th quarter. Now it's Panathinaikos' turn. With Sofo stopping Nicholas, turning him around. Calates out top, but this time he gets caught moving. Big Sofo.
We see Calates just ricochet off big body of Schwarzenegger there.
There you see the replay. Big Sofo putting it down on a nice cut to the basket. He stopped on the other side of the court, Drew Nicholas, with some good defense, but he got caught moving for his 4th foul. And you know that David Blatz is going to stick with him, it looks like. Not sitting anybody down with with a 9-point difference now on the scoreboard. 45-54, Panathinaikos up. Panathinaikos with the ball in the corner to Fotis, back out to Sato. Big Sofo defending, and that pass goes out of bounds by Sato to Nicholas.
Credit that play to Big Sofo that hedged out on the pick, made life difficult for that pass.
With 4 fouls, he's not stopping to play defense. David Blue out top, backdoor to Pargo, off the backboard and in. Jeremy Pargo from David Blue, what a pass. Nicholas trying to answer from deep. Nicholas, nothing but the net.
Incredible, Maccabi pulled to within 7 points. Nicholas, the veteran, did not hesitate to take that 3-point shot. Brings the league back up to 10 points.
47-57, David Blue answering back for Maccabi. The shot comes out, he battling for the rebound on the floor, and it's going to be called a jump ball, and we'll see possession go to Panathinaikos. That's a tough break for Maccabi. That was a layup that looked like David Blue was going to make.
Again, that's been the story of the game, Frank. They haven't been able to convert on those shots, especially close to the basket. They've had trouble with their two-point shots.
Still 29% two-point shooting for Maccabi. They're up to 38% from three-point. Look at that beautiful pass from David Blue to Pargo. But Panathinaikos still in charge by 10. Nick Kalathis with the ball. Off to Nicholas. Gets a screen from Batiste. Keeps the ball going against Panini. One-hander in the lane, misses. And Edson tried to one-hand a rebound, lost it, stays with Panathinaikos. Diamantidis out top. Goes to Fotis and around to Kalathis. He drives the lane. Kicks out to Nicholas. Nicholas off the backboard and in. Drew Nicholas.
Nice old school. Use the backboard shot by Nicholas there.
He's up to 12 points in the league score now for Panathinaikos. They're getting contributions up and down the lineup. Pargo for Maccabi. They've got to make something happen soon. Into Big Sofo. He switches. He spins. His shot goes off the rim, however. And Panathinaikos comes up with the rebound. It's a 12-point difference with 7:30 to play. And the highest difference of the game. Diamantidis driving on Sofo. And the foul is from Jeremy Pargo. Coming in, trying to make the steal. Look at Big Sofo playing some defense.
Panathinaikos did a great job reading that play. They had a mismatch out front. Sophocles got back late from defense. He was end up guarding Diamantidis. Panathinaikos player spotted that. Diamantidis with the presence of mind to attack him. Now he's got two shots.
We've hardly seen any changes on the floor here in the fourth quarter, but we do have a timeout at 47:59. Maccabi is going to have to look at what they can do to make up 12 points against one of the top defenses in the EuroLeague this year. Panathinaikos ranked third in the best defense this season, and making up 12 points in 7 minutes, a little more than 7 minutes against such a defense is going to be difficult. Let's listen to Lizoko Bradovic. Coaching up a storm. That's why that man is the winningest coach in the history of European basketball. Going for his 8th title.
We saw the assistant coach right there, Itoudis, telling the team they have
3 Final Fours in the last decade, and they're trying to do something to come back from a 12-point deficit with 7 minutes left, and they are facing a 47-59 scoreboard. John, you were saying what David Blatt might be telling his players right now.
Well, I'm sure they're gonna have to start going to the three-point shot, even if it's on transition. But they're gonna have to get some stops on defense first. Get those stops on defense. Get out and run. They have an open three-point shot. Don't hesitate and take it. They're going with a smaller lineup. They've got Elial in there with David Blue. Both great offensive players. They've got all their offensive manpower in there right now with Panini, Edson, Pargo, Elial, who we see in the picture, and also David Blue.
That's the offensive lineup. Small lineup for Maccabi. They've used it before in tough situations this year and piled up a bunch of points. But with that free throw by Dimitris Diamantidis and one more EuroLeague MVP for this season at the foul line. 7 assists. And now 11 points for Dimitris Diamantidis. Puts Panathinaikos up 47-61.
We see Obradovic has adjusted his lineup also, puts in Satsaris and Foltsis as their front line now, so we really have 2 4-men instead of the typical 4-man and a 5-player.
There's one of those power forwards, David Blue, ending up to Panini into Pargo and into Eliyahu, and right away, one of the best inside scorers. Had a tough tournament until now, but he's the second leading scorer on Maccabi. Eliyahu gets an easy basket, which has been practically impossible in the second half.
Very few easy looks and conversions by Maccabi this year.
Nick Kalathis from downtown, missing for Panathinaikos, and that's Eliyahu with the rebound. Coming up court, goes to Edson. They're looking for Eliyahu. He goes out to blue, but there was a foul before the pass. So Eliyahu comes out and gives his team a spark right away, John.
Well, we've seen it all. He's done that all season. What we haven't seen is here in Barcelona. But both of us know the quality of Eliyahu. He's capable of putting points on the board in a hurry, and they look for him. His teammates look for him.
He was the only other double-digit scorer for Maccabi apart from Sophocles Kourtsanidis. Eliyahu had almost 11 points a game during the season. He's got a deft array of inside shots, and we just saw another score inside from Maccabi, so they're not going away. They've just cut it to 10, 51 to 61. Lots of pressure on the ball with the smaller lineup too. Edson guarding Diamantidis. Switching, and Eliyahu with Diamantidis. He steps back for a three-pointer. Dimitris Diamantidis inside. Sadas pulls the rebound. That's the danger of the small lineup by Maccabi.
But look at Sassadis, his decision, a correct decision. Run more time off the clock.
Nicholas out top, 6 minutes to go. Drew Nicholas makes his move to the lane.
This is a very long possession for Panathinaikos. The clock is on their side. They want to run the time down. Sassadis very unselfish there, smart, kick the ball out. Panathinaikos, they've been in this situation. They know how to protect leads.
Eliyahu tried to get a hand on the ball. The foul was called on Panini, however. Trying to stop Drew Nicholas. Still a 10-point margin for Panathinaikos. And Mike Batiste back on the floor with Sartsanis this time. Backing in on Eliyahu. Loses the handle. Eliyahu comes the other way to Pargo. Pargo spinning again in the lane. But he is called for walking this time. Jeremy Pargo had the spin move earlier in the half to finish. This time, you see his feet. And he put the last foot down. Good call, he traveled.
Correct call by LaMonica on that play.
And there's Mike Batiste loose inside for the jam. Taking advantage of the Maccabi small lineup. Panathinaikos up 12 with 5.5 minutes to play, John.
Threw it down with authority also. They're feeling it already, Frank.
Pargo guarded by Sartsanis. Almost loses it, does lose it. Comes up with it, Diamantidis. Frustration on the faces of the Maccabi players. And no wonder they are frustrated. Panathinaikos took over this game in the second 5 minutes of the third quarter with an 11-1 run. And they hold a 12-point lead, 51 to 63 right now. Drew Nicholas to Dimitris Diamantidis again inside. Batiste was open, missed the putback as well. And here comes Eliyahu the other way. He doesn't look like he'll get the continuation. Fouled by Nicholas. Made a nice shot coming back. There you see it. The foul was called before he obviously left the floor to take his shot. So he will, or Maccabi will take the ball out of bounds. Smart foul by Nicholas. And you can expect Panathinaikos to play smart with this lead the rest of the way. They know what to do. They've done it before. Pargo trying to make it to the basket. Gets it in. Rolls it in with his offhand.
Pargo just willed that shot in. I don't know how he got that shot off against that good Panathinaikos defense.
53-63 still, lots of time left. Drew Nicholas pumping it from deep, in and out. Panini has the rebound. Ahead, Eliyahu cross court to Edson, but there was a foul again on that play. Third foul on Nicholas as he was trying to stop Eliyahu on the catch.
They didn't like the quick shot either by Nicholas in that last offensive sequence. Like to run more time off the clock. Nicholas, of course, feels it. He's shot extremely well so far. He wants to score, but in that situation, the coaching staff for Panathinaikos looks like they want more time run off the clock.
And they want Nick Kalatis on the floor. Pargo goes inside to Panini this time. They're calling a jump ball on this one. There was a lot of fighting for the ball.
We just saw this play 2 minutes ago where they scored a basket. Maccabi went back to the same play with different players, the same plays.
Panini battling with Diamantidis, battling with Sato. Ball stays Maccabi possession. They need it desperately, facing a 10-point deficit. Still plenty of time, 4.5 minutes left. Jeremy Pargo, as you see, 10 points and 8 assists today for Maccabi. Trying to separate the players for this inbounds play. Eliyahu gets it. Eliyahu puts it down. Fouled by Sant Jordi. That's why he's in the game, John. He's got such a number of moves in the paint and one-handed shots. He got to the right spot, made the right pivot. Look at the feet, look at the hands. Eliyahu trying to spark his team here at the end after a tough tournament for him so far.
Well, he's got a chance. There's still 4.5 minutes left in this game. They can make one last run to try and get over the hump. Again, Maccabi with their out-of-bounds plays, able to come up with some great solutions.
And a three-point play by Lior Eliyahu makes it 56-63, the closest that Maccabi's been in a while. They have their short lineup. They're pressuring the ball, 9-2 run. There you see the double team. Pass ahead to Sant Jordi. Let's see what he does with it to Batiste. Foul on the play. Batiste can't get the shot to go down, so he'll go to the free throw line. And Panini gets hit with the foul. That's only his third. Did a good job of avoiding a basket with the two big men bearing down on him, Sartsaris and Batiste.
So Sardis did a great job with that pass and ball control.
Mike Batiste at the foul line. His first one goes out. And since he's a 74.3% free throw shooter before the Final Four, it's not an easy call to foul him either. He's going to hit some of them. Let's see if he hits a second. The Maccabi crowd is on their feet trying to prevent that. Mike Batiste misses again. The ball's loose. Let's see who comes up with it. He does. Tries to throw it off Edson. Ball goes out of bounds. And the call is Panathinaikos ball.
Great hustle by Batiste. Missed the free throws, went after the ball. Look at him on this play. Jumps up in the air.
Panini fighting for it. Question is whether he was inbounds or out of bounds. The ball's definitely hit off his back. That's what they're arguing, Maccabi.
We're going to have to trust that decision by LaMonica. He was right there. He had a great angle on that play.
And he's made all the right calls so far tonight. The Panathinaikos ball, inbounds to Diamantidis. Out top, pressure building, 7-point difference, 4 minutes left. Diamantidis on Eliyahu, looking for Batiste in the paint. Here comes Batiste, he puts it down.
Great pass, great composure by Batiste to hold on to that, come down with the ball instead of going up right away off the lob pass.
Panini on the wing, gets a screen from Blue, goes to Eliyahu, Eliyahu driving in, one-hander Eliyahu, in and out. Edson got a hand on it, but the final rebound goes to Panathinaikos. Tough change of possession there with Batiste scoring and Eliyahu's shot going out. Tough for Maccabi. Panathinaikos holding on to a 9-point lead, 56-65. Drew Nicholas going to pump it from downtown and rattle it in. 2-point jumper. Another timeout on the floor. The double-digit lead is back, 56-67.
He's feeling it. Nicholas is feeling it. He's had an incredible second half and really coming up big in these last minutes.
There you go, Drew Nicholas getting the job done from deep. Didn't go totally. Football titles with 4 different teams. Jelko Obradovic, the greatest coach in European history, is 3 minutes and 19 seconds away from an 8th title. He has an 11-point lead, Panathinaikos does. And John, he will be tying Dino Meneghin for the most trophies lifted in European history. Dino Meneghin as a player, Jelko Obradovic as a coach, if he can close out this game.
Well, he's a true champion. Frank, if I could tell you something that happened, we played the finals against Maccabi in 2001. We felt terrible. We lost that game. But he was so upbeat and positive with all of us. He said, hey, guys, we're coming back here next year. We're going to win it. We're going to win it. Keep your heads up. The guy is incredible. Sure enough, he was right. But he said that the minute after the loss. The minute after we lost in the finals.
12 Final Fours in 20 years with 5 different teams. The only team he didn't win it with was Benetton Treviso in the late 90s. 7th final. And here is Željko Obradović trying to put the finishing touches on this 8th title for him. What will be the 6th of Panathinaikos. Handoff, Panini, Eliyahu. Eliyahu drives. Eliyahu doesn't get the finish. Edson pushed from behind on the rebound. You're surprised to see Eliyahu miss that one, John.
It's a shame for Eliyahu because we know he usually makes those shots and he would also try to go in and dunk because he gets up very well. I think he wanted to get the ball off as quick as he could. As it turned out, he missed it. But it's just unfortunate for Maccabi and for Eliyahu. Great player. He's had a great season. We've seen him in many games of the week this year where he's just been outstanding.
But Chuck Edson goes to the line anyway for Maccabi, and he hits the first free throw to get the lead down to single digits with the second. Doesn't go. There's a rebound by Eliyahu, and on the putback, he misses, and Fotis comes up with the rebound. There's a foul. Fotis will go to the foul line at the other end. Eliyahu is the foul. Lots of frustration by the Maccabi players.
Again, they're only shooting 33% from two-point range, 13 out of 39. Just having a lot of trouble to make those shots, especially close to the basket.
That has been the story of this game so far. 33% two-point shooting by Maccabi, 62% by Panathinaikos. And at this point, Panathinaikos is almost caught up in three-pointers. They've hit 6 to 7 for Maccabi. So that was the difference. It kept it close in the first half, and in the second half, they're hitting their shots from deep too. Fotis misses that free throw. Rebound comes to Pargo. Still 10 points, 57-67. Look for Maccabi. Trying to take some three-point shots, and there's Panini from deep. Doesn't get it to go. And Edson knocks it out of bounds.
Good close out by Fotis and trying to get there as soon as he could on that. Put pressure on Panini's shot.
The truth is, John, that Maccabi had all of its three-pointers except one in the first half. So they have had trouble from downtown, even as Panathinaikos has started to hit their shots. Doesn't look like this is going to be possible for Maccabi. 2.5 minutes left. But as we said, 10 points is something that these guys can score in 30 seconds if they put their minds to it. Again, they go inside the Batiste. Again, he catches. His shot comes out this time, however. And then he comes the other way. Off to Pargo. Pargo's driving. And as he's driving, gets fouled by Dimitris Diamantidis.
Very strong move here. Very explosive player. Jeremy Pargo. We've seen him get better game by game. Coming into the EuroLeague as a rookie. Did an outstanding job, was named to the second team, all EuroLeague team. It's quite a tribute to a very young player, first year in EuroLeague.
And we must say that until this point, there's the first free throw out by Pargo. Until this point, where Maccabi's tried to put on pressure, they haven't gotten out of it, full court pressure. But they've got rewards from that all season. They haven't really been able to pressure Panathinaikos tonight. Second free throw out, rolls loose, Diamantidis, who else comes up with it, gets fouled. The EuroLeague, Turkish Airlines EuroLeague MVP for this season, Dimitris Diamantidis, and that's why you see he's everywhere.
All-around player, incredible. Does it on the defensive end, rebounds, block shots, does it on the offensive end. Great passing, great ball handling. You made an excellent point earlier, Frank. They have done a great job against this Maccabi full court pressure or their defensive half-court traps. Give Panathinaikos credit for handling themselves against this good defensive team, Maccabi.
Dimitris Diamantidis up to 12 points with that free throw. He's got 8 assists, and he too is a born winner. He's been EuroLeague champion twice with Panathinaikos. He won the MVP of his first Final Four. As we said, MVP this season, best defender trophy voted by the coaches 5 out of 6 seasons, and all EuroLeague first team for the second time last night, awarded here in Barcelona. Has his team up 12 with very little time left for Maccabi. There's Edson going to the hoop. This time the foul is called, but the shot doesn't go down. Maccabi will fight to the finish, you can be sure of that. One-hander by Edson, smacked on the way by Batiste. That is really remarkable. Dimitris Diamantidis and all he's done this season. He was second in the EuroLeague in performance index rating, the overall rating for what a player does on the floor. First in assists, 10th in steals, 12th in scoring, just 6th in three-pointers per game. Third, in three-pointers per game, 6th in minutes. He's been a leader every step of the way. Panathinaikos, here he is trying to get out of the trap by Maccabi. This time he doesn't. Panini or Eliyahu got the ball with foul from behind from Sant Jordi. But again, that's a smart play by Sant Jordi. They know what to do, even when they make a mistake.
Exactly, you're exactly right on that, Frank. They will not give Maccabi anything easy. You figure they're up by 10 points, less than 2 minutes to play. They're not going to give them anything easy. Santo makes a correct play, fouls, and out. They can earn it from the free throw line.
Made Santo with his third foul, leaving the game, replaced by Nick Calates. This man, Jelko Obradovic, taking nothing at all for granted. And these free throws at the end are certainly not doing anything for Maccabi. If Pargo had hit his and Eliyahu his, we might be looking at a different scoreboard, but it's still 10 points, just under 2 minutes to play. Eliyahu hits a second free throw. You see pressure from Maccabi right now. They got something out of it on the last play, but this time they throw over to Foxes. Calates is getting chased by Edson. Gets the ball ahead to Nicholas, but Nicholas steps out of bounds. So that gives another possession to Maccabi. They only needed 7 seconds to get the ball back. And there you see Jelko Obradovic coaching up a storm, getting Sato back in the game. Looks like he wants Calates on offense and Sato on defense, right, John?
Well, they're both excellent, as it turned out, they're both excellent defensive players and offense. Calates did a great job on offense.
Pargo with the ball into Eliyahu, spins, crossover, off the backboard, Eliyahu.
All of a sudden, we have a 7-point game, 1 minute, 39 seconds left to play.
If you need quick scoring, well, he's giving it to Maccabi in this half. They get the ball across the court against the pressure, it's deflected, and the ball stays with Panathinaikos. And Panathinaikos running players in the game. Let's see the replay here. Tipped by Chuck Edson, not touched by anybody else. Good call.
Great hands by Edson there.
But it's 7 points in a minute 30, and as we said, if any team can do it, it is Maccabi Tel Aviv. Top scoring team in the EuroLeague this year by 4 or more points, but more than 4 points, I should say, which over the course of a 22-game season now, that's a lot of points extra scored by Maccabi.
That's true. If we remember, Maccabi's won a lot of games in blowouts this year, but I remember a game in Khimki against Khimki where they came back. It looked like they were dead. This team never gives up. They're going to try and find a way to get back in this game and at least get one last shot.
1:32 on the clock, 62-69. Maccabi looked like they were out of it, down by as much as 14 late already after the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. And now they've cut it to 7 just in the last 2 minutes. They've cut it to 7, and they still have 92 seconds left to see if they can make a miracle. As Johnny Rogers said, we saw it earlier in the year. David Blue hit a 3-pointer after they had a big comeback on the road in the regular season. And this team is not giving up, no way, no how. Let's hear what David Blatt was saying in the huddle.
We run at this guy, and the trap man runs and drops again. Only one guy. Understand? Oh, 2 taps. We trap the ball on the pass. We force up. We run and we trap. We take away this pass and this pass. Listen, now we need on the other end, we need a quick and good three. Listen. Jeremy.
Maccabi's got to do it both ways now, John. They're going to have to pick up a turnover or 2. Not let Panathinaikos score, and certainly try to free up 3-point shooters. Let's see who comes out on the floor for these two teams for the final 90 seconds of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague final title game. Looked like Panathinaikos was going to roll to victory just a couple minutes ago, but it's 7 points in 90 seconds.
We could hear in that timeout, barely we could hear. I picked up a few times. Vlad is talking about traps. They're setting up the defense right now. Obradovic on the other side, we could clearly hear him say, pass the ball, move. So let's see what tricks David Blatt has up his sleeve here to try to come up with a force of turnover. They're not going to foul Panathinaikos if they can help it. They want to try and come up with a turnover.
And we'll see who they foul if they have to. On the floor, the lowest free throw shooter for Maccabi is Drew Nicholas. They can't get the ball in bounds. And it's a turnover before the clock moved by Maccabi. Great defense. They got the ball back. Let's see if they can do something with it. Jeremy Pargo driving. Kicks out to Panini, wide open. Three-pointer, in and out. Eliyahu puts it back. Shot had 2 chances for Panini, but Eliyahu was there to cut the difference to 5, 64-69 in a matter of 12 seconds since the last time out. Maccabi's got it down to 5. We have a ball game. Don't go anywhere. The EuroLeague champion could be decided in the next minute and 20 seconds. Maccabi making a late run after being down 14 in the middle of this final fourth quarter. Down now only by 5 points. Timeout on the floor. Panathinaikos wants to talk about it. And John, what do you expect Željko Obradovic is saying?
Well, they certainly cannot afford to lose the ball anymore. And he's going to try to set up something, try to get spaces, and so they're not double teamed either.
A 7-0 run, as you see, by Maccabi, just in under the 3-minute mark, and basically under the 2-minute and a half mark. 7 points in a row, just when they look to be given up for dead. 14 down just a couple minutes ago. Now they're within 5. And this is getting even more interesting than it has been until now.
There's enough time. It's a 2-possession game, a minute 20 to play. Maccabi doesn't have to foul to stop the clock, force Panathinaikos to shoot. They can continue to play their defense, try to get some traps, try and come up with a turnover. I expect Diamantidis to have the ball, and he might not even pass the ball. I expect that he's going to handle the ball. We've seen him so many times this year. He makes those big free throws. He's going to want Maccabi to foul him to stop the clock. We'll see what Maccabi does, if they're going to let the clock run down and try and play good defense, or if they're going to try for a quick foul. I don't expect anybody else to get the ball except for Diamantidis.
Well, let's see if they get the ball inbounds to him first, because they couldn't on the after the last timeout. Unable to get the ball inbounds with the great Maccabi defense and taking it out in the same position on the sideline. Let's see what happens now. Galathis trying again. The ball's loose. He gets it to Batista, however, and you're right. They give it handed right off to Diamantidis.
He might not even pass the ball in this possession.
Blue, he gets a double team run out of Blue and Edson. The ball was loose. Drew Nicholas has it. Time running down, almost a 1 minute mark. He goes inside of Batiste. Batiste finishes. What a pass by Diamantidis.
Great vision, great under pressure. What a performance, Diamantidis.
Pargo with the ball. Going into Eliyahu. There's Diamantidis. He gets fouled. He steals it. He gets fouled. I think Željko Obradovic just said, Dimitris, take care of this.
Can we say anything more about the guy? That's why he's a champion. Performs in the clutch. We've seen it year after year, season after season, game after game. Now here he is on the free throw line. Makes the play on one end of the court. Goes back, gets a steal on the other end. Gets fouled.
Dimitris Diamantidis, what else can you say? Comes out with his team in danger. 5 down, a minute and a half to go. Gets his 10th assist, or what should have been his 10th assist, 9th assist on the first play, then steals at the other end. Dimitris Diamantidis, what a player. The Sporting Bet MVP of the EuroLeague season, puts that second free throw down, has his team up by 9 once again, 52 seconds left. Pargo tries to finish. Wow, what a basket by Pargo with still 46 seconds left. Down to 7. Galathis gets it in, gets it back from Fotzes, goes to Diamantidis. He's ahead to Sato. Ball's across half court.
They're going to have to foul now.
Maccabi will have to foul. They're going to trap first, but the foul comes.
Sure enough, Diamantidis goes back to the line.
And who better than Dimitris Diamantidis to put the finishing touches on what should be a new EuroLeague title for Panathinaikos. Up by 7 with 33 seconds to play. Never say never, but Diamantidis at the line can make it 9 if he hits his free throws. That's our Sporting Bet MVP for the entire Turkish Airlines EuroLeague season, Dimitris Diamantidis, who came into the EuroLeague in 2005, immediately won the Best Defender Award. This is the first free throw, and between then and now ranks 7th on the EuroLeague's all-time assist list, 3rd on the steals list, has full season records. He's 8th in steals, 8th and 10th in steals. That's what he made his name as, but he's developed into the great all-around player that we know him as. Dimitris Diamantidis making 8 points, 33 on the clock. Edson running ahead from Maccabi, trying to find somebody to pass to, but gets fouled before he can do so.
Smart play by Edson. Stops the clock, gets the contact. Obradovic is not happy with that play. That's the last thing he wants to do, stop the clock, give them a chance to go to the free throw line. Nicholas comes back in the game, replacing Sato. Again, offense on one side, defense on the other. Obradovic is not letting anything go, not taking anything for granted. 29.9 seconds left.
With 8 points, if he hits these free throws, it's 2 3-point shots to tie, and certainly Maccabi is capable of that. 30 seconds left. We see Derek Sharp on the floor, 39-year-old Derek Sharp, the heart and soul of Maccabi, out on the floor to see if he can help make this comeback a miracle. Ball gets in to Drew Nicholas. He gets fouled by Edson. As we said before, that's a very good foul because Nicholas, of the guys on the floor, has only a 66% free throw percentage this season.
That's a good point, Frank. You would expect him to have a higher free throw percentage, but he actually does struggle with his free throws compared to how well he shoots from long range.
Drew Nicholas was the EuroLeague top scorer trophy winner his first year in the EuroLeague a few years ago. He came to Panathinaikos, and Obradovic turned him into a good defender. In fact, he defended the last shot in the 2009 final, which was a 1-point game, 2-point game that they won over CSKA, but it was a 3-point shot they could have lost. He was the defender on that. He misses those free throws, however. It's a 6-point game with 25 seconds left. Here comes Maccabi. Edson inside Eliyahu, he spins, makes the layup. It's down to 4 with 20 seconds left. And that gives us a timeout on the floor. Eliyahu, apparently the timeout has been called off, and we're going to keep playing. 19 seconds left, 70-74. Substitution, Sato.
It's going to be a reverse substitution now, possibly because of the free throw percentages. Sato, a better free throw percent shooter.
Sato for Nicholas, but they got to get the ball in bounds first. Diamantidis has a great pass to Fotzis. Ahead to Batiste. He's the one who's going to be fouled now by David Blue. Mike Batiste, who, as we said before, is 74% free throw shooter. Very good for a big man. But with 12 seconds left, is all that Maccabi can do. And if you think if he hits one of these, John, it's all over.
You can never say it's all over. It's going to be close to being all over, which it probably is. 12.6 seconds.
Rolls the first one in. Mike Batiste for his 17th point. He has been the heart and soul, along with Diamantidis, for Panathinaikos. And if he gets his shot down, and he does, it's a 6-point lead with 12 seconds left. Maccabi has its work cut out for it really fast. Pargo coming up the floor, looking for Edson. Stop and pop Edson. Shot misses. He was looking for the foul. He didn't get it. Sato got the rebound. 3.6 seconds left. Fouled by Sharp. There it is. Panathinaikos is going to win the EuroLeague title with anything less than a 3-second miracle. One more free throw and it's over. The fans have already decided to celebrate. The Panathinaikos fans up on their feet, in the air, singing their songs. Their hero, Dimitris Diamantis. Look at the classy move by Jelko Obradovic, putting Milenko Tepic in the ball game. He's the only player who hasn't appeared yet for Maccabi, or for Panathinaikos, I believe, in this Final Four. There's the other one, I'm sorry, Kostas Kaimakoglu getting out there to get a taste of the glory, even though they didn't play in the Final Four up until now. Milenko Tepic and Kostas Kaimakoglu. There you see the hugs on the sideline. Mike Batiste, third-time winner. This man, Romain Sato, will be a first-time winner in his first season with Maccabi, with Panathinaikos. There you have it. The Greens of Panathinaikos win their 6th EuroLeague title since 1995. Moving into 3rd place on the all-time list. They're celebrating at midcourt. That man, Jelko Obradovic, his 8th EuroLeague title. Unbelievable. He ties the record for anyone lifting the trophy 8 times as a head coach. Jelko Obradovic, look at him comforting and congratulating the Maccabi players on a great season. John, they won it fair and square.
They've led the whole way. They played an excellent season. They struggled. They lost a few surprise games at home during the top 16, but during the playoffs, they just played. They took their game up to another level, and we saw them in this Final Four play excellent basketball, especially today when it counted most.
There he is, Jelko Obradovic, animating the Panathinaikos fans up there. We saw him do it in several cities, now Barcelona. And curiously enough, this man has won so many titles in so many places. The one place he lost before this was in Barcelona. He had never won here. He keeps a home nearby here from when he coached Juventud, so it's a city that's close to his heart. We're going to take a look at the player of the game. Who could it be other than this season's Sporting Bet MVP, Dimitris Diamantidis? Look at that reverse in the first half. He had a low-scoring but high-value semifinal. He came back tonight and just did it all. Dimitris Diamantidis, 16 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, even a block shot. He has been the leader in the true sense from the first game of the season to the last. In other years, he was also as good, but he shared a lot of time with other point guards when they won before. This year, he was playing the 6th most minutes in the EuroLeague at the point guard spot all season long, which is unusual for a Panathinaikos team. But he took the full leadership role of this team and has done it. He's done it all season long, and he's done it tonight in the final. Dimitris Diamantidis, Sporting Bet MVP of the season, top player of the game here in the final, winning his 3rd EuroLeague title. Let's talk to Dimitris Diamantidis.
Another title for you. How do you feel immediately after the game? What are the feelings?
The feelings are, I'm very happy. I'm very proud for my teammates, for my coaching staff, the whole Panathinaikos fans. We are excellent.
Coach Obradovic spoke that the team was a little bit nervous in the first half. That's what he said coming out of the locker room. What did he speak to you about in the halftime?
You gotta know that we play a final, so it's kind of logical to be nervous. I think we make a good game. The whole game, we was okay. I mean, the strategy that we have, we follow that. At the end, we make some turnovers, we make some rebounds. So we're like scared, but at the end, everything is okay.
What did you do differently in the second half to cover the shooters of Maccabi? They scored 7 3-pointers in the first half.
As a strategy, we have, because Maccabi have a great shooter from outside, they have Sofo that is a big body down there. So mostly we switch up there. We try to minimize them, and we're okay.
You know Sofo from Greece, from the national team against Olympiacos. How was it today against him?
Every time is difficult for us when we play against Sofo. So we try to protect our big guys. We make a good team job. So that's why we're European champions.
Congratulations and enjoy it.
Dimitris Diamantidis, what a special player, Johnny Rogers. You've seen him over the long period, how he's developed. We're seeing the beginning of the medal ceremony for Maccabi Electra, getting their runner-up medals. We might have a look at the play of the game as this goes on, and before Panathinaikos is crowned. But full credit to Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv for the job they've done all season long and right up to the final minute of the title game.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Frank. Excellent season by Maccabi. They had a big blow to them when they lost Doran Perkins, very important member of their team, but they still fought, were able to qualify for the Final Four, won yesterday against Real Madrid in convincing fashion, and today they fought as much as they could, but they had Panathinaikos in front of them, which was just an outstanding team.
And there we see Doran Perkins in line to get his medal, receiving the medals from Barcelona Mayor Jordi Areu. There's David Blatt shaking hands with Jordi Areu, and also from EuroLeague Basketball President and CEO Jordi Bertomeu, congratulating Maccabi on their great season. There we see the two owners and presidents of their clubs, Thanasis Giannakopoulos on the left, congratulating Shimon Mizrahi of Maccabi on a great season, and vice versa, congratulating Mr. Giannakopoulos on the title. What a game. It came down to the last minute after it looked like Panathinaikos had it finished, and that man put the finishing touches on it. Not unexpected considering all he has done. He was the 2007 MVP of the Final Four when Panathinaikos won it at home in Athens. We're waiting to see who has been voted to the MVP of this game by the media in attendance. Over 700 media from around the world in Barcelona to witness another spectacular performance by Panathinaikos Athens, 70-78 final. And there's the announcement. The MVP award goes to the man who was the MVP of the entire EuroLeague season.
You know, Frank, I'd like to say something. This guy you'll never find a more unassuming person, star, Diamantidis, just an incredible person, and as we see, does incredible things on the court.
Just received his award from Hamdi Topçu, the president of Turkish Airlines, giving Dimitris Diamantidis his MVP award. He's collected four trophies this season. As far as I know, he's the captain of the team and will lift the big trophy as well. That's the one he wanted most, but he's collected a few along the way. Dimitris Diamantidis, and what you said, Johnny, is absolutely true. We've talked to him a lot over the years. He's almost embarrassed at the attention that he gets, but with the amount of skills, and it really, to me, is a unique player in the world. I don't think I've ever seen anybody quite like him. People from other countries or outside Europe were asking me this week, what makes Diamantidis so special? And it's what you said, unselfish, unassuming, and does about everything there is to be done on the floor. There was a period in his career that they didn't have many three-point shooters on this team, and he stepped up and started hitting three-point shots like nobody's business. And it's whatever his team needs, he does. But as a tall point guard, there are very few guys in the history of basketball that have had the impact that this young man, Dimitris Diamantidis, has. Now we see the champions getting their trophies. There's Stratos Perperoglu, his second. Ian Vujukis, rookie in the EuroLeague this year, gets his first. Milenko Tepic getting his first as well. There's Diamantidis. He's up to 3 in 7 seasons. Dimitris Diamantidis. Romain Sato, the second African player to get it in a row. Antonis Foss is with his third. And a couple of the young guys also doing their work in practice and getting their trophies as EuroLeague champions from Barcelona Mayor Jordi Areu. And there are the fans, and there is the man who makes it all happen, Željko Obradović, 8th EuroLeague title, double any other coach in the 54-year history of European continental titles, 8 by one man, Željko Obradović.
Just incredible feat, just remarkable. And the guy is so hungry, so ambitious. I guarantee you, they'll get to the locker room. He's going to tell the guys, we're going to be back here again next year, guys, to win it again. He is so ambitious, but just an outstanding coach.
I can tell you for sure, because I talked to him on the floor in 2007. He was going around to each of his guys, basically at this moment, and I asked him, what are you saying to him? He's saying, keep this, he was telling them, keep it in your head because we want to do this again next year. Of course, it's the one thing that he has been unable to do is repeat with the same team as a champion, repeated with two different teams. But now we will watch Panathinaikos take a much-deserved rise to the podium as the 2011 champions of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. It's been a fascinating season. CSKA Moscow got knocked out after 8 trips to the Final Four in the regular season. Lots of big names couldn't make it, but this team, Panathinaikos, knocked off defending champion Barcelona, kept them from the Final Four here, and now they are lifting the 6th trophy for Panathinaikos Athens. Diamantidis got some help from Costa Cyrus and Mike Batiste, and there it goes in the air. The EuroLeague trophy for Panathinaikos Athens, their 6th title. They did what they had to. And Johnny Rogers, you've been on the floor for this. Tell us what those players are feeling right now.
Oh, it's just a great experience, great moment. They're going to share it. It's a family. You see the guys hugging each other down there. It's a family. Their wives are waiting for them behind the scenes in the locker room. They're all going to celebrate together. The club. But I'll tell you one thing. They earned it because I know Obradovic puts them through some incredibly intense practices. We talked about it earlier in the game. 2-a-day practices. And leading up to the Final Four, these guys are running sprints. I talked to them. They're running sprints. But as soon as Obradovic gets closer, he knows he gives the team confidence.
Johnny, you bring up an excellent point about what is another ingredient of this team is consistency and loyalty. 12 years with Željko Obradovic at the head of this team, but behind the scenes, all his assistants, all the other staff are been with the team nearly as long. Consistency has been, right now we're hearing the president of Maccabi Tel Aviv, Shimon Mizrahi, addressing his fans to thank them for their tremendous support during the entire season. At the beginning of a national holiday right now, starting for Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.